Hello, Oracles. Well, Tesla breaks out and breaks the downward trend that we were on. Is this a real breakout or is this a fake out breakout? We will get into that in a moment, but Tesla had an awesome day today, up 2%, outperforming the market, where the NASDAQ and the S&P were up just over 0.5%. So this morning we talked about the numbers that were coming out of Shanghai. Numbers came in line with expectations, right around 77,000 vehicles getting delivered for the month of August. So that was great. We are now expecting about 100,000 vehicles plus getting delivered in the month of September. So we'll get the official numbers for all of Q3 coming out on October 2nd. We'll take a look and see how we performed there. I'm still looking at about 370 to 380,000 vehicles getting delivered. So that's going to be an awesome number to pay attention to. We also got production numbers out of August from Shanghai, and they hit a record of 76,605 vehicles produced. And that is despite having the Model 3 line down for a week. So very good numbers coming out of here. So we discussed this morning how there's a potential of hitting maybe 96,000 vehicles getting produced. That's probably very bullish, maybe lower than that. But with the 10,000 vehicles that we're carrying over from inventory from July into August are now getting carried over into September as well. So looking at definitely being over 100,000 vehicles delivered for September alone. Today was awesome. But for me, and I don't want to spread FUD, I mean, honestly, we broke out today. Awesome feeling. Love seeing us pushing up to 290. Many of you early in the day had predicted that we were going to hit 290, and you guys were spot on. So that was awesome. But for me, just being realistic, taking a step back, saying, look, we broke trend, but we have seen dead cat bounces happen all year long where we were on a downward trend, we bounced up, we broke out of it, and then continued back down again. We have seen this time and time again happen this year. Next week we have the CPI and the PPI data coming out. The week after that we have the FOMC meeting. So I would love to see us come in with a great number for CPI and then we continue to run further. I would love for the Fed to come out and have a more dovish stance and say, hey, you know what? We realize that we're going to be going a little bit too hawkish, so we're going to go dovish and go with a 25 basis point hike, and the market cheers and rallies after that. I would love to see this. But I need to be realistic. We had Jerome Powell coming out today and talking about how the Fed needs to maintain their hard conviction on fighting inflation. He even mentioned Paul Volcker's name yet again, who had raised interest rates up to almost 20% back in the 80s. So looking at this and what Jerome Powell was saying and the Fed's hawkish stance at the moment, I'm just being cautious. I still dollar cost average every day. I actually increased my dollar cost average from $20 to $25 today. So for me, I'm doing this because I don't know what's going to happen. I still have actually it's almost 12% cash sitting on the sidelines right now. That's why I increased my dollar cost average, because I want to deploy more cash into the stock. Long term, I love it. But in the near term, I'm just like, I still have this feeling that we've got these gaps at 258 and 247. We've got the support at 245. I still have this gut feeling telling me that we are going to be pulling back to this. I can be totally wrong and we can run. I would love to run. But I'm just being cautionary. That's all. So not spreading FUD, just saying I'm just keeping my money on the sidelines for a moment for the mass big chunk of cash that I've got. And once we get past FOMC meeting, if we are still running, then I'm going to deploy it. I'm really kind of waiting for FOMC, and that's where I'm going to drop it in. Because after that, the major stuff for the macro, other than black swan events that could be potentially out there that we don't know about, other than that, there's nothing in the macro really until CPI coming out in October. So once we get past the FOMC meeting, it's going to really be kind of like spotlight on Tesla again, because then we're going to have AI Day 2022. Then we're going to have production and delivery numbers on October 2nd. Then we've got the Twitter overhang and the Twitter deal that's going to be going on in the court on October 17th, if it has not been resolved before then. And then we're going to have on October 19th, we're going to have the Q3 earnings report. All sorts of good stuff that are going to be going on in October. So once we get past the FOMC meeting, we really have the midterm elections as the only real macro environment thing that's going on, which can definitely cause some uncertainty. But other than that, that's really it. So Just being cautionary, I'm just taking this day to day. That's all I'm doing, just watching it day to day. And the last 2 days, we've broken out. We've broken out of our trend. Now we monitor and see, are we going to continue this? So tomorrow's Friday. We have gotten Friday fades in the past. Maybe we see a little bit of a pullback due to the 2 run-ups that we've had the last couple of days. We've got the RSI that's still in the mid-50s, and we've got increasing volume. So this is clearly a nice couple of days that we've had, especially after being red for 5 days in a row. But I'm not going to get FOMO yet. Just gonna be a little bit cautious, that's all. So I was getting some good information in the comments from you guys today, and I gotta tell you, one of the things that I love about this community is even you guys who aren't content creators, you are part of the heart and soul of this community. I've got Jerry over here telling me that I've got investing against the grain with Nick. Thanks for the shout out, Nick. I appreciate that. Jerry telling me this. Now I'm giving Nick his shout out. I got you guys giving me a lot of great information about other things going on as well. I've got Abbe Sull telling me that he's got some connections down in Austin, saying that down there they have started their employee stock purchase plan buying, and as a large group they have put in $500,000 buys in 1 day. So that could be some of the green that we have seen on top of the market going green the last couple of days. Maybe that's causing some of the outperformance. But seeing these things and getting this information from you guys is great. So now we know that the employee stock purchase plan has started. They are starting to buy up down there. Don't know any information about Berlin, but I would imagine they're going to be starting anytime now as well if they haven't started already. So this is great information because now we're seeing this buying coming in. And we're going to be talking with Alexandra this weekend. So if you guys are around on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Vinny from the Investment Club and myself are going to have Alexandra on the channel for a live stream. I'm very much looking forward to that. I know we were talking about having Dr. Jack on, but he's taking his kids to Disney. Jack, I hope you have a great time down there. And we will have them on at a later date as well. So it's not like it's going to be a one and done. We will definitely have them back on the channel also. So looking forward to that. If you guys want to check that out. But again, part of the community is just getting the information from everyone. And I also had some great conversations from 2 of you guys back to back with the exact same similar comments, with DJ and Billy Rocket talking about how, coming out with the compact car, we know that when it comes out, it's going to end up being a lower margin vehicle. That's just the nature of it. Cost can only come down so much. You're going to drop down the cost and the price of a vehicle, so your margins are going to be a lot narrower on that. So when you're looking at Tesla and how they're trying to grow the business, the way they've been going now with the demand is great. They have very high margin vehicles that they're selling at the moment, which gives them a lot of cash to be able to play with to build up all of these gigafactories. They need that cash to continue growing the business at the pace that they want to grow it. So for the next 2 years, if they end up announcing, 3, 4, 5 factories over the next 2 years, that's amazing. They have all this awesome margin coming in. We know next year we get the Cybertruck. That's most likely going to be even higher margins coming in. So all of that money comes in. They invest all of that money into all these gigafactories, then they can come out and announce that compact car, because at that point, they're going to have robotaxis out. They're going to have a lot more extremely high margin revenue coming in from FSD, any software that they have going on out there. Energy revenue is going to start kicking in. So they're going to have all of these other revenue streams that are high margin coming in come late 2024, and all the gigafactories are basically already paid for at that point, and they're getting to the point in those factories where they're now profitable. Giga Berlin was profitable very early on in their ramp phase, so I have no doubt that the future factories that they build are going to be the same way. And the more factories that they have, the more margins they're going to have coming in from more factories. So the margin hit they take on new factories is not going to be as drastic. So when they're doing all of this, they now get to the point in mid to late 2024, and they can put out that compact car that's lower margin because they can make up for those margins in so many other areas. And R. Gerald Alexander in the comments mentioned how, well, maybe the compact car is going to be like a hatchback Model 3. Maybe they just take the Model 3 and put a hatchback on it. That could significantly change the size of the vehicle that they're going to have, because that's something that we need to see over in Europe. You've got a lot smaller roads, they need that. So that would be a great idea. We'll see how this plays out. And I think by the time we hit 2025, when robotaxis are really starting to grasp a foothold in many places, we are going to see at least 8 gigafactories built or being built at that point. And so if they have a couple more gigafactories to go after that, it's really not a big deal. And it may be like smaller gigafactories in more localized areas areas to help with a lot of the logistics. And so looking at the conversations I'm having with you guys about all of this, that was one of the big reasons why I decided to increase my daily dollar cost averaging. Because for me, seeing is where the stock and the company are heading, and then having these discussions with you guys, again, you guys are heart and soul of this Tesla community. So loving the conversations that we have, because it gives me even bigger conviction. And I have pretty high conviction, but now I'm pushing 67% on Tesla, and that's going to go even higher now that I have increased my dollar cost average. And now I'm also just waiting for that time to strike and drop off half of my cash into Tesla as well to really bump up my stake there more. So looking forward to all of this, looking forward to getting through the next 2 weeks with CPI, PPI, FOMC meeting, and I will be definitely sharing with you guys what the expectations are for the CPI. We've been coming down significantly. I think if we end up coming in with a 7, that maybe give us that run. We may end up dipping down. Maybe this is a dead cat bounce. We dip down a little bit before we get to that CPI data. If CPI comes in good, we come in with a 7 in front. Maybe we bounce back up again after that. So lots of unknowns, don't know what's going on. This is just what I am seeing and predicting. I can be totally wrong. This is not financial advice, but I am seeing what could potentially be a dead cat bounce, and I'm going to buy in on that bounce when we come down, because I am looking at it forward and coming into the Q3 earnings and the Q4 run. I think it's going to be massive. So I'm taking advantage of this opportunity, if we get that bounce, to dump half of my cash in at that point. So let me know in the comments below, do you guys think this is a true breakout, or do you think this is going to be a fake out breakout and it is a dead cat bounce that we are going to come down with and end up filling those two gaps down below? And also let me know in the comments below, just like Jerry, thank you so much. If there's any other content creators that are out there that you think, is something that I should pay attention to. I'm busy working and then creating content for you guys. I don't have a lot of time to get out there and really search out who else is out there, but if you guys have, definitely share, because I'd love to connect with other people in the community. And Nick, if you are watching this, I would love to be able to meet up with you as well. Maybe we can do a live stream. I know on yours you were talking about doing a live stream. I'd love to have you on the channel and have a conversation as well. And as I'm sure many of you have heard, Queen Elizabeth II has passed away today at the age of 96. A 70-year reign, whether you liked her or not, you gotta respect a 70-year reign. That is absolutely outstanding. The things that she has done for a lot of people around the world, she has made a huge difference to many people. I know Sophie, I was chatting with you earlier about that. So let me know your feelings on that as well, and if she has affected your lives in any way. And I gotta tell you, I don't watch TV, but if there was ever a reality series with Queen Elizabeth II and Betty White wreaking havoc on the towns all over the world, I would have totally been watching that. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.